What's up, guys? Today I'd like to show all of you every one of my handguns that I currently own, and they are all in 9mm. So I'd like to go over the reasons why I have each one and why each one will more than likely be staying in my collection for hopefully forever. And I'd like to start off with the Sig P365. This is currently my concealed carry, and it has worked very well as my concealed carry. But this is also probably the gun I've shot the least. I know whatever gun you carry, you should probably shoot a fair amount, but I have not done that with this pistol. So that's something I really need to get on and start doing. Honestly, this gun is, without the extended mag and without the hoe grip on here, it's kind of uncomfortable for me. I have kind of large, skinny hands, and I kind of like a fatter grip, and this one has an unusually small grip. So I have put the Hogue grip on here to kind of fatten it up a little bit, and while it's still not the most comfortable thing in the world for me, it's my concealed carry. It's not going to be the most comfortable gun in the world, and I've accepted that, but whatever allows you to carry a gun, and for me, it's size. I would love to carry a bigger full-size gun because that's the guns that I feel like I am the most proficient at shooting, but walking around with a full-size gun is just, for me, very uncomfortable. So this small gun pretty much allows me to carry a gun. And I have never had any malfunctions with this Sig 365. It has performed flawlessly, and I need to take it out to the range and shoot it very soon. Okay. So the next gun I'd like to talk to you about is the HK P30L, aka John Wick's gun. Well, as I just said, the reason I got this gun is pretty much for John Wick. And this gun reminds me a lot of the VP9 that I used to have, but I like this one a lot better than the VP9. Now, I will say, as far as the trigger goes, the VP9 probably had a way better trigger than this one is. But I'm not a trigger snob, so I don't really care too much about a crazy, awesome trigger. So, yeah, I mean, the trigger on this thing is nothing. The reset's kind of long on it. But like I say, I'm not really a trigger snob, and it doesn't bother me too much. But I keep this gun because basically I feel like it's a good gun, and it fits my hand really well, and it's one of the, well, the Sig, I guess, has the 365 has it as well, but this one is one of the only ones that has more of a rounded off grip. And I like round grips, but I have found out after shooting quite a few of them that I prefer a more square, blocky type of grip for my hands. But this one is super comfortable. I mean, when you put it in your hand, it is like, in the beginning, if I had picked this gun up and this gun up, I would have said the P30L is way more comfortable. But like I said, it's only after you shoot the guns that you realize which ones you really favor as far as grip goes. But yeah, the P30L is a great gun, and I can't see myself ever getting rid of it. Okay. The next one I'd like to talk to you about is the Glock. And I just recently put this extended mag release on here, which has made it a lot easier to get to it. And I put an extended breakdown lock right here on the sides. Now it's a lot easier to break it down if I need to. Okay, so as far as the reasons why I have the Glock, first of all, this was the first gun, the first pistol I ever bought. And if I had known better and tried other guns before I just went straight to the Glock, I definitely probably wouldn't have gotten the Glock. I will say that I did have a few issues with this gun in the beginning with like running steel case ammo and everything, but it just needed a break-in time. After I pretty much put about maybe 300 rounds through it, 200-300 rounds through it, it started performing pretty flawlessly. And all the little issues I had with it were gone. And I'll tell you the main reason why I keep it. By the way, this is the Glock 34 Gen 5. So the main reason I keep this gun, and I probably won't sell it, is because if there's ever a SHTF moment that we have to deal with, the Glock is like my safety gun. Because if you have to take the Glock and run out the door, you're more than likely going to find other people that have a Glock just because of its popularity. And so if you ever need to, more magazines, some internal parts to swap out, you'll have a lot of options to choose from. Now, this grip on the Glock has always been the most uncomfortable feeling to me in the world. And I just recently had a Hogue grip on here like I had on the 365, but I decided to take it off. I've had the Hogue grip on there for like 6 to 8 months or something. And I decided to take it off, and I put my hand on the gun again. And you know what? It really doesn't feel as bad to me as it used to. This little bump right here, it just hits me in the wrong spot on the hand. It's not quite as unbearable as I used to believe it was. It's not that bad. And like I said, this gun will be kept because of safety reasons. And if SHTF ever does happen, I'll have a gun that I can kind of, find parts for and everything. Okay, so that's enough of that. Now, the next two I want to talk about is the guns that will survive to hell and back. And that is my USPs, HK USPs. These two right here are just amazing, amazing guns. And what I have on here on the right is the USP Expert, and then this is just a standard USP. So after having both of them for a while, I will say that I wanted the Expert really badly in the beginning. I bought the standard one first, and then not too later on I got the Expert. And this one has a match trigger on it, so the trigger is much better than this one is. Yeah, wow. I feel like the the P30L's trigger is probably a little bit better than the standard USP's trigger. Yeah, I mean, it's a combat trigger. Your finger just about goes all the way out there again to shoot. But this is the grip that I tend to like the most. This blocky style of grip. I got these rubber Talon grips on each one of them, but I don't feel like they do as good of a job as they did in the beginning. So I think I'm going to swap these both out with the sandpaper grips from Talon instead of these and see how that performs. But yeah, these guns will survive anything and everything, and they are, without a doubt, my favorite polymer style gun. Only bad thing about it is these magazines cost so much money, and while I have like 6 or 7 of them, I'd like to have about 20 of them. There's just no way. HK is very proud of themselves and their magazines and guns, but they cost a lot. But these guns will never go anywhere. I will keep these guns forever. And I will say, out of both of them, after shooting both of them, the US Expert looks so sexy. But if you just put both of them in your hand, the standard one balances a lot more than the extended barrel one. And of course, it's pretty obvious that a longer barrel is gonna kind of be a little bit more front heavy, and it's not that bad. It's still a light gun, but you'll find, like, once you get down to this length of barrel, that guns just kind of seem to balance a little bit better in your hand. And when you shoot, you don't even tell the difference between the two, so that's that. I'm a USP hardcore fan, and they will never leave my possession. The last one I want to talk to is the golden girl right here in the middle. This is the Sig 226 Legion, and always loved Sigs, but I never thought I was going to find one that outperformed my love for the USPs. But I found one. The Legion it does everything right for me. It does everything right. It's got the same size barrel as pretty much the standard USP. Maybe just a little bit of a difference. So it's nicely balanced. And with the standard 226s, they don't have this little bit of an undercut, and the grip just feels a little bit different on the standard 226s. And that's why I always kind of just like, okay, they're all right, but they don't, I don't love the grip in my hand. Well, when they came out with the Legion and they put these G10 grips on there, good Lord. It was the perfect feeling grip. And this grip's got a really kind of a rough texture to it, and I like it. I like it a lot. That's kind of why I decided to go with the sandpaper grips and put them on the USPs. I haven't ordered them yet, but I will, because of this. I can hang on to the gun so much better with that rough style of grips on here, G10 grips. So yeah, this is my pride and joy right here, and this will never leave the collection. And of course, the big plus side to the 226 is that, a lot like the Glock, maybe not as much so, but I believe the Navy, they used the 226, or they did. They get Glock now, but there's still a lot of people that have the 226. So, if SHTF ever does happen, you will have a gun that, I'm not going to say the large portion of the population is going to have, but I'm going to say a lot more of them would have this weapon's magazines and parts, as opposed to the HKs. And then what also is so good about them is that Metgar makes some magazines for this gun which run flawlessly. I've never had an issue with any of the 20 round mags that I have. So you just put those two together and it's kind of a no-brainer. If this gun fits you good, then the 226 Legion is the gun for you. Now, one day I would like to try out the flat face trigger Legion single action, but I'm kind of a double action person. I like the long heavy trigger pull of a double action. I like having that as my safety, as opposed to having an actual safety on the gun. But that's excluding the 365. I want a safety on the 365. The little sucker's just too small. So yeah, Okay, well, I just want to show off all the current pistols that I own and give you a little info of why I have each one. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.